Shalom. I want to start by giving all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Bashem Kakwadash. Double honors to my teachers, the elder apostles of the great Muslim who well. Peace and salutations to the hopefully elect tabernacle of David, scattered through all the four corners of the earth, coming back with another lesson. And the focus is still upon you Jakes, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans who are the true biblical Israelites. As you can see in the news and the mainstream media, the focus is still on you. All right, it's a lot of propaganda being pushed, more propaganda. They're in overdrive. It's a lot of peer pressure. They're using these celebrities and entertainers. They're pushing more narratives out there, and it's really to get you to comply. All right. Um, they're saying as of now that certain areas are running out of supply. The number of jabs are starting to decrease, so they're in demand for more distribution. And then you also got certain narratives where they're saying that the super rich, the rich people are getting the jab, so to speak, and pretty much that's to get you jakes that are you know of the poor class, you jakes that are in the hood. That's to get y'all to believe that you're being left out, you know, that you're the unfortunate, you're not getting what you deserve. This is all mind games. These are all psyops that this devil is running against you. And that's why the scriptures say, let's go to Ephesians 6, the sixth chapter. Let's go to Ephesians 6. And it says, put on the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. All right. So, in other words, you got to stay girded with truth. All right. Stay girded up with the spirit, with discernment, with faith. Because this devil, he's going to try every avenue to try to deceive you, to try to seduce you. He's trying to lure you into his snares and his traps, and he sets them before you. All right. We know the truth. All right. Behind, what the agenda is, what they're trying to do. We've been, since this whole thing started, we've been, giving the strict warning. And you see what this devil is doing, you know, through his medium. More peer pressure, more psychological operation, more mind manipulation. They're putting more fear on you, and that's the best way to control you, is through fear. There's another strand coming from Brazil. All right. Now one dude, he got two of the different strains at the same time, and they just gonna keep going with this, man. You gotta worry about this strain over here, this strain over there. They're gonna form together like Voltron. Hey, put four masks on if you want to be sure, but it's still not gonna protect you. You still need to get that cocktail. All right. And they're still focused on you tribes. Now this is from Reuters, all right? And I'm gonna play the video, but let me finish this, because this is what we're up against, man. It says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, which are the rulers of this world, the rich elite that control everything that you see happening." It says, "Against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in the high places." 'Cause those same powers that be, they're dealing with the left hand of the Most High through the spiritual demon Satan, which is from basically the spiritual realm. And this is what we battling it against. It says, "Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand, stand therefore having your loins girded about with the truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace, above all taking the shield of faith." All right, so you can guard yourself. It says, "Wherewith you shall be able to quench all the fiery darts, all the fiery arrows of the wicked." All right. And you know, Esau's he's shooting out every arrow in his arsenal, all around towards you Israelites. All right. And this is what they're pushing in the media. You blacks, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, you're dragging your feet. Everybody's getting it but you. What's the holdup? Why are you still skeptical? What is it going to take to get you to bow out? So anyway, let's listen to this report.
Early data released on Monday suggest Black Americans and other non white groups are getting vaccinated at a slower rate than white Americans, even though Blacks and Hispanics have been particularly.
So now they're making this thing a racial thing. It's all political and it's racial. Since if this is a public health crisis, why are you making this about race? Why is that important? If there's no agenda behind this. But let's continue.
Hard hit by COVID-19 with a disproportionate number of deaths. According to the CDC, Blacks received 5.4% of shots, despite national data showing that they made up 16% of healthcare workers and 14% of nursing home residents, two groups prioritized for the first wave of vaccinations. Whites received 60.4% of shots and accounted for 60% of healthcare workers and 95% of nursing home residents. Data on race and ethnicity was only available on about half of the nearly 13 million vaccination shots given in the first month. New York City on Sunday reported that while blacks make up 24% of the city's population, according to 2019 data, they have so far sought and received only 11% of coronavirus vaccinations.
Please get vaccinated.
The data comes as top U.S. infectious disease expert Anthony Fauci on Monday urged all Americans to get vaccinated.
Who's been caught in the web of lies, all right, since this whole thing started. All right. He's been doing a lot of uh, um, gaslighting. Um, he's been speaking with double tongue. He's been contradicting himself, speaking with a lot of contradictions about this whole thing, especially concerning the mask. But you're still gonna listen to what this guy got to say, man.
As soon as possible to not only protect themselves, but to also prevent new variants of the virus from emerging.
You need to get vaccinated when it becomes available as quickly and as expeditiously as possible throughout the country. And the reason for that is that there is a fact that permeates virology, and that is that viruses cannot mutate if they don't replicate. And if you stop their replication by vaccinating widely and not giving the virus an open playing field to continue to respond to the pressures that you put on it, you will not get mutations.
Fauci's comment came as the CDC reported that the variant.
He's not credible at all. Don't see. He's not been credible during this entire situation. All right, and you can just look at this dude's track record and his history to show you that he's not credible at all. But he's put at the forefront. He's put in the position of control because there's an agenda, man. You gotta peep. You gotta understand.
Variant first discovered in the UK was found in 32 states, and another variant discovered in South Africa was found in 2 states, South Carolina and Maryland. The CDC also reported that January saw the highest number of deaths from COVID-19 than in any other month since the pandemic, with more than 90,000 deaths, though overall cases and hospitalizations nationwide are dropping from highs set last month.
This is straight up fear porn, man. And then of course they got the comments turned off because normally when they allow the comments, people are basically pointing out all the holes in this whole operation. That it doesn't make any sense. Things are not consistent. All right. I mean, it's just all picked apart, man. And basically, like the brothers down there in Mississippi, they were going into how Esau's, his enchantments, his psyops are not working anymore, man. People are seeing through the BS, and they know clearly that this is all a part of an agenda. All right, and we're not ignorant to Satan's devices, man. All right, we know that your time is short, so you gotta basically use all the ammunition that you got. See. So anyway, they seeing that they're making this about race, because really the agenda is to get rid of you tribes, man. All right. It's either to eliminate you or to fully control you, control your soul. And they're trying to lay those snares and traps before you, man. So let me get real quick Psalms 141 and verse 9. And it says, "Keep me from the snares which they have laid for me, and the gins of the workers of iniquity. Let the wicked fall into their own nets, whilst that I will escape." All right, and the Lord is gonna, make a way for us to escape, pursuant to 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. All right. The temptations that he has before us, the Lord's not going to place anything on us that we cannot bear, but he's going to make a way for us to escape it. And you have to believe that, through, of course, your faith. All right. But a lot of our people, they don't have that, and that's why they're going to be taken and fall into those nets and snares. All right. Hey, with what they do with a lot of this mind programming and propaganda through mainstream media is no different than the strange woman the scriptures warn you from, or the strange woman with the flattering lips, which that's applied to strange philosophies or false philosophies. Well, hey, Esau, he does that when he's trying to get you to trust his science, and he's trying to flatter you and seduce you with so-called knowledge, which is really pseudoscience. That's kind of him, trying to lure you away, into trusting him. Let me get Proverbs 20, Slakia, Proverbs 7. I think it's around like 21, maybe. Yep. This is Proverbs 7 and 21. It says, with her, and this is talking about, uh, strange philosophy or strange doctrines. Okay. Like if there's somebody coming to you and telling you that this thing is safe and, comply, and, it's going to benefit you. You got pastors and prophets coming out of the woodwork telling you and assuring you that this is safe, and the Lord's going to do good things for you if you go ahead and take it, and this and that, which is all peer pressure and mind manipulation, witchcraft. It says, with her much fair speech, she causes him to yield. All right, like TD fakes. Everybody that's following this guy and all these compromised, bought and paid for false prophets and pastors, they're gonna cause you to stop and listen. And that individual, he's not serving the Lord, he's serving his own belly through fair speech. It says, with the flattering of her lips, she forced him. Okay, and that's Esau is trying to force you through these different methods, whether it be by these ministers of Satan that's transporting themselves to the ministers of light, whether it be mainstream news, these journalists, these politicians, right? He goeth after her straightway, as an ox goeth to the slaughter, or as a fool to the correction of the stocks, till a dart, right? The fiery dart of the wicked strike through his liver, as a bird hasteth to the snare, and knoweth not that it is for his life. That's why you got to hearken unto the word, man. You hearken unto these scriptures, this will safeguard you, man. This teaches you how to use wisdom, how to be prudent, how to be circumspect. All right, how to follow the counsel of the Lord rather than the counsel of sinners, man. It says, hearken unto me now, therefore, O ye children, and attend to the words of my mouth. And how do you do that? Through listening to his servants, the prophets, that are actually giving you warning at the Lord's mouth. It says, let not thine heart decline to her ways, go not astray in her paths, for she hath cast down many wounded. And a lot of people are going down by way of this whole situation, man. You can go to the this portion of the CDC where you can actually search out the criteria on the number of reports on the people that had took the Pfizer and the Moderna uh, uh, potion, man. All right, and you can see, you could read the list of deaths, man. That is, man, and they say that's based on a certain percentage of people. It's not even the whole entire demographic, man. It's based on a small percentage of the people that are being reported. That people that are either being totally affected, where it's causing a permanent effect on their body, and then you have those who are literally dropping dead. So people are being cast down wounded. It says, yeah, many strong men have been slain by her. Her house is the way to hell, the grave, going down to the chambers of death. You see? And that's what a lot of people that's given in, to all this enchantment, they're falling by the wayside, man. All right. So let me go from there to Proverbs 1 and verse 10. And it says, my son or daughter, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. And let's read a couple other translations. NIV, it says, my son, if sinful men entice you, do not give in to them. Eastern Standard Version, my son, if sinners entice you, do not consent. Christian Standard Bible, my son, if sinners entice you, don't be persuaded. All right. And these are the workers of iniquity. They're trying to persuade you. They're trying to entice you. Really, this is talking about peer pressure, man. All right. And that's what the media is doing, man. They're trying to peer pressure you. Okay. They're trying to draw away your mind. And this is why this is the reason why they only want you to, watch them and not, alternative news. They don't want you to watch, these videos that's giving you the true information. That's why they're striking it all down. That's why they're banning it on all these different major platforms. Because obviously, the true information is persuading people, and they're not buying the BS. So this is kind of offsetting, what they're trying to achieve. Basically, we're in the way. All right. So that's why eventually, we're going to be seen as the enemy, which we already are. We're the enemy of the state. And they're going to deem us as radical terrorists with potential to harm, to commit violence, so on and so forth, man. We're the enemy because we tell you the truth. But hey, this devil is not going to win. All right. We're still going to get the victory over this demon. Okay. But hey, it's getting more and more obvious. It's blatant. All right. We see what the agenda is. The focus is on you, Jakes. Why are Black and Hispanic Americans lagging in Crown Royal vaccinations? Data show. Okay. This is all propaganda right here, man. All right. But anyway, I'm gonna try to stop it right here. Lord willing, this was edifying. And we give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And until the next lesson, I say Shalom.